When our adversaries seek to disrupt regional stability, they need to think twice. Our nation's global response force can react swiftly to a variety of regional threats, thus preventing escalation to a more serious conflict. But U.S. paratroopers don't respond alone. Emerging threats require multinational solutions, and those solutions require training. There's no team better equipped to generate multinational readiness than U.S. Army Europe's 7th Army Training Command. And there's no better example of our joint multinational high readiness training than the exercise series Swift Response. Swift Response 16 allowed the 82nd Airborne Division to exercise and receive a Joint Task Force certification for U.S. European Command. Phase 1 included the notification and rapid deployment of an 82nd Airborne-led multinational task force from 3 staging bases in the U.S., Germany, and Poland. The goal? To conduct simultaneous joint forcible entry seizures of key terrain in Poland, to secure lines of communication and bridgeheads in order to set the stage for the arrival and forward passage of follow-on forces. Phase 2 of the exercise saw the forces return to Germany, where the task force once again conducted simultaneous airborne joint forcible entry operations. On the ground, the units took part in a U.S. Army Combat Training Center rotation in Hohenfels, including offensive and defensive scenarios, non-combatant operations and evacuations, and air-land operations. The complexity of the exercise presented an array of challenges. One was distance. The exercise required the vanguard of the GRF to be wheels up within 18 hours of notification from its home base at Fort Bragg and be on the way to drop zones in Poland. The transatlantic mission included air-to-air refueling and, more importantly, in-flight mission analysis, planning, and rigging. Another challenge was tactical interoperability. Even among close allies, there are various systems and standards. 7th ATC trainers had to account for 5 different air forces, 3 types of aircraft, 6 different parachute systems, and a diversity of altitude, wind, and drop zone requirements. Finally, the 82nd Division headquarters had the complex challenge of leading the multinational joint task force through Swift Response. The multi-echelon simulation allowed the 82nd to direct forces in Poland while simultaneously planning for a separate contingency mission in Germany. Trainers were able to connect both phases in a joint live virtual constructive training environment while also providing the division with certification as a ready and functional joint task force headquarters for the combatant commander. Effective multinational crisis response requires intense planning and repetitive practice. The Swift Response exercise series ensures that when crisis happens, muscle memory takes over. After all, a swift response may be the only thing that prevents a crisis from becoming a regional conflict.